This is a message for the King of the Zulus, Goodwill Zwelithini. Isilo, Ingonyama. My name is Kevin Finn. I'm a descendant of Henry Finn, doctor that spent 5 years with Shaka, the half-brother of your great-great-grandfather, Mpandi. You are the rightful king of the Zulus today. And I come to you, sir, and I ask that you hear my message. The second time that a Finn has come to plead with a king of the Zulus, I'm here today to plead that you hear us. Your great-great-grandfather Mpande, he fought with the Voortrekkers, with the Afrikaners, to make a stand so that you today could become the king that you are today. I plead with you, sir, to hear me. I ask that you stand again with the Boers, with the Afrikaners, against this menacing threat. The threat to South Africa is not the white man. The threat to South Africa is Marxism. It is the communist ideals that are being promoted. It is the Marxism that has been promoted throughout the country like a wildfire. And I ask, sir, that you stand with the great authority that you have as the rightful king of the Zulus. I also plead for those Zimbabweans and Mozambicans that have come down, that have fled their nations, to come to South Africa, that you instruct correctly this time to protect them, that no harm will come to them, because it is not their fault that they came to South Africa, because they are fleeing Marxism. The same thing that we are seeing from a mopedi from EFF called Julius Malema, and these other BLF despots that are causing this strife. Once the Boers fought with your great-great-grandfather, they are the ones that made you who you are today, the rightful king of the Zulus. And I ask you today that you stand in their defense, that you honor your great-great-grandfather, Mpande. I ask that you hear us, that you hear my plea as the second Finn to be able that comes to you today, that stands before a king, that talks before a king of the Zulus, Henry Finn, and now me. I come and I plead with you for these people. I plead for those who have fled their countries in Africa due to Marxism. It is not their fault. You have great authority and you have great power. You have great authority and you have great power. Amazing how a few words from you can ignite fires and flames and set people alight. Now, sir, I ask that you come and you stand before your people and you defend this nation as the king with the power and authority that you have. This mopedi, this one in the EFF, he is not for South Africa. He is a fool. He will break this nation. He has ridiculed you. He has your people. He has ridiculed white people. He has ridiculed Indians. He has ridiculed all those, including colored people, everybody that makes up the beauty and the extravagance and the diversity and the color of South Africa. I ask that you stand and you say no. You have a Zulu in your midst that has disgraced you and disgraced the honor of the Zulu people, their power and their pride. His name is Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma is in Nkandla, where he shouldn't be. He has an empire that he does not deserve. He is a Zulu that has broken this country. He has brought it into economic distress. He has shamed your people. And you cannot be proud of this man who calls himself a Zulu and practices Zulu practices. But he has broken the nation and has shamed you and your people. his corruption, his lies, his collaboration with the Guptas, his collaboration with Bell Pottinger to start this narrative of strife and hate speech against white people. You know it's wrong. And you, sir, have power. So I plead with you today, as a Finn, after a couple of 100 years, the last time was early 1800s. Now I come to you today and I ask that you hear me. I plead with you. I plead with you, King, my King, King of the Zulus. And I ask that you make a stand in defense in honor of your great-great-grandfather, Mpande. You defend them. You defend them. And you say what is right, and you do what is right. This man from EFF, Julius Malema, he has leapfrogged off the back of a Zulu that should be extremely ashamed. A Zulu who has broken this country and has tried to hide his corruption and his misdeeds and to divert attention onto the white people that they must pay for his strife, for his mistakes. And he lives there in Nkandla. He is allowed to live there whilst he has caused a lot of this. And now his student that leapfrogged off his back, Julius Malema, is talking like a fool. And he will break this country. He will tear the history and the beauty and the diversity and everything that has happened, the blood that has been spilt. He will create more blood for nothing. And this country, and you know it, will be destroyed. Everything in this country will be broken down and destroyed. Everything that was good, everything that everybody's worked for and struggled for and died for, of every generation. Now we're dealing with somebody else that we know is dangerous for you, for us, for the Indians, for all the different cultures and ethnic groups of South Africa. So please, Baba, I ask you, I plead with you today, hear me, the second Finn in the entire history of South Africa to speak to a king of the Zulus, that you hear my plea. Protect the Zimbabwean people, protect the Afrikaners, protect the nation. You have power and authority that I respect. I respect you. But I need to see your strength like the rest of the country is, and now is the time for you to speak. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And I look forward to seeing you stand up against this nonsense that will impact you and your nation too, if you and your people don't do anything about it. Siyabonga kakhulu.